connecting Indigenous musicians and artists to the world. Welcome to Indigenous Superstars with your host, Rhonda Head.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the show tonight. I have a really exciting guest tonight, and I hope lots of you can join us and enjoy the stories of my guests coming up. Today is my 60th show, and I'm really excited to share Indigenous music and powwow and fashion and art and the art world. We're coming to you live on YouTube, so please go to my YouTube link and subscribe to my channel. Start doing that, and we're also going live on Twitter. And I also want to thank the province of Manitoba for granting me the stay-at-home grant for Indigenous Superstars. I got the equipment and I'm working on a new website, so that's going to be coming out pretty soon, and it also paying for my podcast. So if you want to check out some of the other episodes, you can just go check on the podcast, and they're also available on my YouTube channel. So without any the bio of my next guest, and like I said, I'm really excited. I'm always excited every time I have a guest, but this guest, I'm really excited. So my next guest is Felipe Rose from Asbury Park, New Jersey. He's the co-founder of the Village People from 1977 to 2017 and a multi-platinum recording artist. He's also a TEDx motivational speaker, a 5-time Native American award winner, an ordained minister, and is continuing his successful solo tour, speaking engagements, and personal appearance hot on the heels of his award-winning single, Going Back to My Roots. In 2018, after having sold over 100 million records worldwide and receiving a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame, Felipe left the group he co-founded and began a successful solo tour with personal appearances across the United States and Canada. Although there are 2 groups currently touring, Victor Will's Village People and Kings of Disco with Ray Simpson and Alex Briley, Felipe does not perform with either group. The spring of 2019 saw Felipe reunite with Randy Jones, the original Village People cowboy, for several Comic-Con and personal appearances. Felipe Rose is presently at work on new music and is available for radio, TV, newspaper career. His history with the Village People, the heyday of disco, and his latest single, Going Back to My Roots. Please welcome the amazing Felipe Rose.
Hey!
How's it going?
Hi, Rhonda. How are you? Thank you for having me.
I'm doing good. It's freezing over here, so I'm trying to keep warm.
I know. Yeah, I think I saw someone pop Rock Bear.
That's Aaron. That's Aaron Brown.
Oh, okay. Hello, everyone.
Hey, Aaron. Welcome to the show. Glad you're here. So I have so many questions I want to ask you. You had such an amazing career in the music industry, and you were like right in the main how do you say, mainstream music industry, and that's so exciting, and so happy that you got to experience that, and like your bio is so impressive with all the accolades and achievements that you have received. So one question that I'm really wanting to ask is can you tell us how you got discovered?
Oh, well, thanks for that. The interesting thing is that a lot of people don't realize that my father is Native American. and he's part Lakota and part Apache. And so that's where in New York City, when I was training as a dancer and a singer, I needed to work. I needed, a scholarship doesn't really give you the benefit that you can live on, doesn't really bestow finances for you to, as an apprentice. And so I decided that with my long hair and braided and wearing my fringe vest and my native traditional gear, I would work in clubs in New York City. And it was I was at the right place at the right time. In 1977, the late producer Jacques Morali from Paris, France, saw me dancing in one club, and then like 2 weeks later he saw me singing with some other singers, and I was wearing less traditional gear but still with the hair braided and all that. And he said, wait, there's something here with this guy. I keep seeing him, this young man, I keep seeing him popping up here and there. And so he went, I think it was then like a couple of months later, and he saw me at a club. And during the disco heyday, people would get dressed up to go out, and they dressed up in suits, and they dressed up, with the platform shoes and the John Travolta style and the hairdos like Charlie's Angel with the flips hairdos and all that. But then you also had a lot of the club goers that would get dressed in clubs, and they would get dressed in whatever they felt like wearing. If they wanted to go out like a spaceman or a doctor or a ballerina or like a Pokemon, like we know Pokemon today, what that looks like. But in the disco era, people that you would see all types of people dressed up in whatever their self-expression. And so mine was, showcasing my roots, my biracial roots, and that garnered the attention of my ex-producer. And when I'm laughing, I'm thinking about it now, he approached me about the idea that he had for this pop group of only male singers, and he told me about the concept, and I thought it was pretty stupid. I just didn't, I thought, okay, so I'm in the middle, and there's going to be a construction worker, and then there's going to be a biker, and a cowboy. And there was some of the other characters were not filled out yet. So that came a little later. So through auditions, pretty much like American Idol, through auditions in the trade newspapers of Backstage and Show Business, that's pretty much where, if you were looking for work, either in films, voiceover, Broadway, off-Broadway, you would go there and you would look at the ads. And so it had one of the ads was looking for mustache male singers for a pop to form a pop band. But basically, because there was really no real name for this concept, he was going along, as he was thinking about it and then writing the first album, because he saw me in the Village in New York City. That's where he got the idea of Village People. Got it. There's an Indian. And, that's the other thing that we need to clear up, that during the times back then, today we say Native or we say Indigenous, and back then they didn't really, they just called it. It was like raw. It was kind of embarrassing to be called, oh, yeah, he's the Indian. It was sort of like, I would look at people and I found myself always correcting people. But, then again, those were the times we were not politically correct, as you well know, and also I found, out of my frustration with the publicity that the record company was putting out. They weren't really explaining in depth who I was. Oh, that's not a character. The others are characters, but this guy is not. He's the real deal, and he was discovered. So that took a while, through a lot of television and radio. That took a while to explain to people. To say that I've had an extraordinary career, I think it's an understatement, Rhonda, but I really believe I really don't know where 40 years went. You know the the old saying when they say, time flies when you're having a good time.
Right, right.
Yeah,
Well, yeah.
we toured the world. We toured the world like 4 or 5 times in completely around. I had like 8 passports that I went through.
Wow, that's so amazing. So amazing. That must like such good memories and such being able to perform on all these stages around the world. It's just amazing to hear that.
And also the other thing that we didn't have back then that we have now is social media. There was no social media. I can't even imagine if the group was actually born today with all of this social media. I mean, I really do believe that if the group would have been created when the internet was alive and when it began, that probably my life would have had a very different outcome. I live a very normal life, very well grounded. You've met me at the Native American Music Awards. Ladies and gentlemen, Rhonda can wear some high heels. She loves she loves her shoes. You do. You're a really good dancer.
Very true. Thank you.
What's that?
Thank you very much.
And that we met at the NAMMYs. That was like what, 4 years ago?
Around there, yeah. 4 years
Yeah,
ago.
something like that. And so, our conversation and our meeting was very intellectual, and I found you to be very astute, smart, and not only because you're a soprano singer, which just completely blew me away. And I do have your book, Res Girl.
Thank you.
And I've got your CD, and I've got the Christmas song you just put out.
Awesome.
So, I thank you. So thank you again. So to kind of bring everything in full circle, as the group kept changing characters, and because I was the co-founder and the president of the corporation of the group, I found myself, do I stay? Do we put in another member? So I would put in with the assistance of my other business partners. One member would leave, we would replace that member with another cowboy, and then another lead singer. In total of the 40 years, it was 4 lead singers, 3 cowboys, 3 construction workers, and 2 bikers. So basically, the soldier and I were there in full residence. And after a while, I started realizing that, this thing could probably run till I'm 80. So while I'm in this position, let me create. I built a recording studio in Jersey City where I live, and started writing and collaborating with my ex producer, Frosty Lawson. I just lost him in last August. So he's always with me. And when it just got to be too crazy between the road and the recording studio, I shut everything down and I moved south. And I moved and ended up moving to Richmond, Virginia. And that's when the native culture hit me right in the face. It was there front and center. And when a lot of several natives that were living down there and that were working with the city, and I went to a few powwows. When they found out that I was living there, then they embraced me into the community, and the Rappahannock Nation, the Pamunkey. I mean, it's the Lumbee Nation of down in North Carolina, and Cherokee in Georgia. the Cherokee Nation. And so I started then, I wanted to come full circle in music. That the best way in the position that I was in to write music, contemporary dance music, but with the flavor of the native flutes, the drumming. And this way I could incorporate the culture with my musical background, pop, dance, disco. And so everything that I would read, I would romanticize. Like, for instance, this book is called Trail of Tears. I don't know if you can see it right there.
Yep, can see it. Yep.
Yeah, Trail of Tears. So when I read this book, which was the rise and fall of the Cherokee Nation, I decided, let me write a song and, of course, call it Trail of Tears. And let me send it off to a friend of mine. And so is Stephen Gelfas. He was, are you familiar with Jana, the singer? NAMI
Yep.
Award winner, Jana. That was her manager. And Stefan Gelfas, he was used to manage KC of the Sunshine Band, and we toured a lot with them as well as with Gloria Gaynor of I Will Survive fame. And so
Nice.
basically, Stefan Gelfas heard the song, and he said, "Felipe, this is amazing. I'm going to send it off to Ellen Bello and Donald Kelly of the Native American Music Awards." And so I said, okay, well, sure, go ahead. Well, when they heard it, they immediately picked up the phone and they said, we're gonna send you the submission form. We want you to enter this. Uh, and so it was nominated, I think, for 5 NAMMYs. And so when I received the ballot, and again, we didn't have it, we didn't have internet. Everything was through mail, snail mail, or through even we had the internet, like AOL. That you remember AOL when you used to log
Remember
in, you would hear that ringtone. And then I received the news that not only were they excited and the song was well received by natives, our native community around the country, but that they wanted me to open the award show. And I said, well, I don't know if that's possible. I don't have anything prepared. And they said, you can have it whatever you want. You want dancers? We'll bring you dancers. They brought powwow dancers. They real professional dancers, fancy dancers. So that number that's on the YouTube channel, that opening, that was my first solo performance while I
That's
was still
awesome.
with the group.
So I'm gonna play that right now. I'll play
Yay!
it. Hey.
Actually, that was the 5th and Native American Music Awards, and then we're up to 19 now. You know that I didn't know the song was that long. It's like what, like 7.5 minutes.
But it was so great. Like there was so much energy going on in the stage, and the dancers are so beautiful, and you're dancing and singing. That was a great, great number.
You know what yeah, thank you. You know what I remember from that evening, that a lot of like when they introduced me that I was going to be, you know, they said the announcement uh was welcome to the 5th Native American Music Awards, and now opening the show, and they said the name, there were some other Native brothers that were sitting back like this, like, what is this disco dude gonna give us? And so when they saw that, like Mickey Free, who I love, he saw me backstage and he said, "Oh my God, I gotta follow that."
And he has too.
And he had to, yeah, you know. And then
Yeah,
I became really
got
good friends with
dancers
Keith.
singing with him. I mean, he's got dancers when he's out there performing
Yeah,
too.
he does. And then Keith Cole and I became really great friends. I love him.
Yeah, I love Pizza Cola
He's like
too.
my Bob Dylan.
Pizza Cola is awesome. I love him too.
Yeah, so you know, I definitely want to sing a few songs for you guys. Um, the Trail of Tears won that evening Best Historical Recording, and then I followed that up 2 years later. We're Still Here, the contemporary story of the Virginia Indians telling their stories, basically, you know, talking about that. Yeah, we're here. You don't see us every day, but we're here. We live in Virginia. So that song again was nominated, and it won Song of the Year. And I was in direct competition with Derek Miller, who's from Canada. You know Derek.
Oh
He's
yeah.
wonderful, crazy guy. Love him. So that evening, I thought, okay, when they were making the announcement, I just kind of looked at the people that were with me, and I say, he's got this song, and it's his. And then once again, I was surprised, and humbly, I went up there and accepted the award. So that was my second award. Then the third one was about, I did a full album on the life of Thomasina E. Jordan, and they used to call her Red Hawk Woman. And she was a spokesperson for the state for the 8 unfederated tribes in Virginia. And so we did an album of song, spoken word, hip hop, and poetry. And then the song won an Emmy as well. And so then I followed that up just 2 years ago with going back to my roots with Stanjati, the native hip hop artist, and Jan Michael Looking Wolf, the NAMI award winning flutist. So hopefully tonight we can get into a little bit of music.
Awesome. We will get into a little bit of music, but there's still more questions I gotta ask you.
There is, really? Oh, okay.
I want to know about your experience getting a star at the Hollywood Walk of Fame. Can you tell us about that?
That was surreal, because it was actually my first time going back with the group. I had a really huge, terrible accident on the road in Florida, where it was a stage accident where I sprained my ankle, got back on the stage the next day, and did 3 more shows, 3.5-hour sets, and then fractured a toe, and then went to the hospital. When I left the hospital, I picked up and caught MRSA. So I almost died, literally. I was out for a year. And the first time going back on a plane was to meet the guys. I convalesced at home, and with rehabilitation, plastic surgery, because they were going to cut the foot off. CDC said, "Oh yeah," CDC said, "No, get rid of the foot. He'll heal. He'll heal." And Dr. Harold Vogler, the leading foot specialist there in Florida, in Sarasota, said, "No, this guy's healthy. We're gonna take care of this thing." So I was in the hospital for 3 months, and then finally, when I recovered and I was back walking, I got on a plane and I went to the star of the Hollywood Walk of Fame, and it was sort of a it was a wonderful feeling because it was finally we received some real serious recognition in the industry in television, films, and recording. And so no sooner than I finished that, a month later, than the Native American Music Hall of Fame inducted me into the NAMA Hall of Fame. So that was like 2 incredible months in 2007 that I will forever be grateful for and blessed.
Awesome. Congratulations. That's so
Thank you
exciting.
for that.
So the other thing I wanted to mention is that your President Biden passed he signed an executive order today to allow LGBTQ back into the army. Do you want to speak about that?
Well, yeah, I think that if they're willing to serve the country and in any country, and they can do the job just as much as any soldier can, that they should be, they should have the rights and they should have all the privileges that the heterosexual world has. And so that was reversed when Trump was in office, but he did so many other things, not just with the LGBT community, but with native rights, land rights, water rights. It just like he was just happy, just signing away, throwing everything back. So this was one of the things that I actually heard about, I think is yesterday, that they were actually reversing that and giving LGBTQ soldiers, men and women, the full rights status to be in the army, in the services, in the armed services, to be there as equals with all the other soldiers, which is, it's important, and it's important for your self-esteem, for your morale, and for your dignity in your life. Just like as natives, that are in this country now, we're very prevalent and we see each other because we now have access to the internet. But
Right.
before, you didn't. I went to in New York City at the Joseph Papp Theater. I went to see Walele, and I forget what other native singer. And so I took some I took some friends with me, and one of the guys that was with me said, "Why is everyone pointing with their chin like?" And I said, "Oh, because they're all natives. They don't point with their hands, And he looked at me and said, "I didn't know there were that many Indians in New York City, in Manhattan." I said, "Yeah, there are a lot of us, but there's 550 tribes." But that's one thing that I realized, that when he asked me, "What's with the chin?" That one over there.
Yeah,
That's
we
just,
put our lips.
yeah,
And we know we know the direction where they're pointing.
yeah, but that there are certain mannerisms that you pick up as native that you can pick up from other natives, not necessarily normal people, straight people that are not Native American. They don't pick up. They might pick up on certain things, but to us, it's like it's natural. It was just like, oh, instead of pointing with your finger, they're pointing with their chin. That one over there.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that was a really good. I'm glad we brought that up, because that was also a big LGBT evening, and I was happy to attend that as well.
Awesome. So I'm dying to ask one question. Well, I'm dying to ask lots of questions, but there's one question that I really want to ask you. Studio 54. You went there, right?
Oh my goodness. Yeah, that was, I was actually dancing at Studio 54 as a professional dancer. I should have sent you that picture of me in a King Tut outfit for the Earth, Wind, and Fire album release of Serpentine Fire or something like that. And so I was hired at Studio 54 to, if you were there, you would look around and you would see dancers, some on stages, on tables, on the bridge. And so that was before the group. Like almost a year later, when I then was discovered, and the group came out with their first recording, and San Francisco Hollywood was playing a lot in the clubs. So I would always use the backside. I never went in through the front. But I remember that the group, we were booked to perform, and they went through the front. And I'm in the back on 53rd Street. And I would just open the back door, and I would say, and they would say, "Hey, Felipe, come on in." And so I'm wondering, like, where are the guys? So I said, well, let me go to the front. And then I look and I see Mark is at the front door. He's the doorman. And he would look at people who say, yes, no, you can stay, you can go. And they're trying to get inside. Hey, we're the village people. And they're like ignoring them. And I had to tell Mark, that's my guys in the band. You got to let them in. So Studios of 54 was very regimented. They were the ones that made the Red Velvet Rope, very popular, and the thing is that they became they became famous for the fact that they would turn people away. It didn't matter if you were dressed in fur coats and diamonds. That was their thing. You could get in, you can get in. So it became I've got to get in. I've got to be that person tonight to get into the club. Now, mind you, eventually everyone got in, but that was their little play at the door, which made it very exclusive because you also had a lot of celebrities coming in, like Brooke Shields and Michael Jackson, Bianca Jagger. You had a lot of celebrities mingling with the LGBT community. There were drag queens and there were models and, writers. Andy Warhol was always there. In fact, we were taking pictures. I was standing next to him and he was photographing a few people. And I just said, give me your camera. Why don't you get in the picture and let me take a picture of you with everyone else? And he thought that was the most bizarre thing that anyone would say to him. So he gave me his little camera and I took the picture and with Julio Iglesias and all of them. And so he later on told me, I've never taken a picture with other people. So thank you for that. And that just goes to show you that he, as talented as he was, he always looked at visually, he was always really admiring everyone else on the other side of the lens. And it was nice that someone asked him, why don't you stand there and take a picture?
That's awesome. Okay, I want to show a picture, and can you tell us about it?
Oh my God! I love Cher. that was we were with her on the road for almost a year for the what was it? I believe. Yeah. Do you believe in love? Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, and so
awesome.
Back up what? Wait, I'm seeing questions there. People are asking.
Yeah, there's somebody here. Jimmy Carter says, I'd love to ask a question. Where can I send it? You can put it on the comments. And then I'll
the great thing about Cher, Rhonda. That was a photo session in a hotel in Miami. The photographer Brett, God, I forget his last name. He said, "No, stand on the table. I don't want you standing on the floor." Yeah, it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool.
Sorry, I moved the picture on too fast. What were you going to say about Cher?
Oh, Cher was amazing to work with because, there were days where she would like stay in a certain city for 2-3 days, and that way we wouldn't have to travel out right away because a lot of the shows were in stadiums, arena shows. Right. And So on, like, say Thanksgiving, when we were all out together with the lighting crew, sound crew, the dancers, the costume people, village people, and everyone, she basically Jimmy Carter. Oh, yeah, I think he's late with what he just
Yeah.
wrote. So
Yeah.
she would rent out the ballroom. She would rent out the ballroom, and she would do bingo night. And so she made it fun. She also very generous with her money. She does things behind the scenes without any attention for the palate. What is it for the lip for kids?
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
What is that called?
Cleft palate.
Cleft palate operations. She did that a lot, and in fact had a lot of children with their families come and attend the shows. Jimmy just asked us a question.
He said in 1978, the Village People filmed in the Navy on the USS Reasoner, and I read that the US Navy was considering using the song as a recruitment tool. And his other question, he said, President, or he made a comment, President Biden signed an executive order to allow transgender people back into the military, and we already discussed that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then he said, however, when they learn of the group's large gay following, they change their mind. First, is that a true story? And second, how do you feel about President Biden's new gender
Well, as
policy?
as I said before, I think that it's terrific that that this thing was reversed with what Trump did by eliminating and throwing out LGBT transgender people who are willing to serve the country, and to have it reversed and let them all return and go back to work. I think it's a beautiful thing. At the end of the day, we're all human beings. And the one beautiful thing about traditional natives in the culture, LGBTQ people are basically two-spirited people, and you know this. They're very revered in culture, in native culture. They are revered because they care for the children and they care for the elders. So they have a specific role in the native community. They're not tossed aside like this situation.
Right. Wait, there's one more photo here I want to show. Thank you for that question.
What is my hand doing? I don't want to talk about that. I don't know. That's a performance in Norfolk, Virginia. I was always putting my hands in my sway pants, and I don't know. I was as thin as a rail.
That's awesome.
Oh, what happened to me? I was so young and beautiful.
You're still beautiful.
Thank you.
That's thank you for sharing all your stories. It's been such a pleasure listening to how your career and how it evolved and the places you got to go and the accolades that you received and so are you ready to perform some songs?
I definitely. Yeah, I'm gonna do the medley. And right
Okay.
now, unfortunately, I'm being a sound man and I'm being a lighting technician because there's no one here but me.
Okay. So I hope all you all are enjoying the interview.
This is the Mammy medley. Her soul was pure as the fullest snow. He was whole when our blood ran cold. Her dream was true, her message clear. Stand together, my people, and you'll know no fear. To feathers in the wind means the great spirit is rising again. Up above the clouds she flies. Spirit work. Red Hawk woman, Red Hawk woman. Ha! Though she's gone, her passion lives. Her voice still echoes on the wind. If you listen, listen, you can hear her song. Red Hawk woman, Red Hawk woman, flying high. The heartbeat of Mother Earth. We're still here. We're still here. We're still here. Still here. We're still here. One nation under God. Tribal people, listen up. Apache, Creole, Cherokee, Wichita, Zuni, Cheyenne, Mojave, Comanche, Ojibwe, Pawnee, Potawatomi, Seminole, Seneca, Hopi, Lakota Sioux, Mattaponi, Chickahominy, Chippewa, Hopi, Arapaho, Yakima, Pawnee, Inca, Taino. We hear the call. We're still here. We're still here. Still here. Still here. One nation under God. Tribal people, listen up. Ay, 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 ay. Ay, 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 ay. Ay, 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 ay.
Awesome. So are you going to sing another song for us?
One tribe, one hope, one trail, one road, one heart, one sea. Proud people and not enough to be. Hey, walking down the trail of tears. Now they felt the pain. Blood flowed like black rain. They held their heads high. On the trail of tears, they weren't afraid to die. Walking down the trail of tears. Crying on a trail of tears. Tattered sandals, bleed feet, not knowing what is theirs to be. From a mother's child came a Cherokee rose, an angel's flower, white as driven snow, and yet they lost their land of gold, a Cherokee nation crying for their soul. Ha! No, oh no, no. I'm living on a trail of tears. No, 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 no. I'm dying on a trail of tears. Let's remember what was lost. A sovereign nation, a sacred cause. Now we're stronger than before. What we know now won't hurt us anymore. Crying on a trail of tears. No, 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 no. I'm living on a trail of tears. No, 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 no. I'm dying on a trail of tears. No, oh no. I'm living on a trail of tears. That was the Nami medley, Rhonda, and everyone. So I'm gonna do the next one, which is 2018. Going back to my roots. How was that? Could you hear? Did it sound okay?
Yeah, it was great. It was
Okay,
great.
thank you. Let me get on with the next one. Just enough my boots, going back to my roots, yeah, to the place of my birth, back down to earth. I've been standing in the rain, drenched and soaked with pain. I'm tired of short-term benefits and being exposed to memories. My head is down, got my head turned around. This was my departure song from Village People, taking me back to what I love, which is music. This is my legacy. This is my life. This is my battle. This is my fight. Spin up my boots. Going back to my roots. Yeah. To the place of my birth. Back down to earth. Ain't talking about the roots in the land. I'm talking about the roots in the man. I feel my spirit been low, and it's time to recharge my soul. I'm zipping up my boots, going back to my roots, yeah, to the place of my birth, back down to earth. Get up and dance, y'all. Zipping up my boots. Come on, Jimmy Carter. Get up. Going back to my roots, yeah, to the place of my birth, back down to earth. Going back to my roots, yeah, to the place of my birth, back down to earth. This is my battle, this is my fight. Hey, hey, Back to my roots, yeah, to the place of my birth. Back down to earth, zipping up my boots.
Yay.
Thank you. When I said Jimmy Carter, he's my executive assistant. He's in
Oh, hey,
outside
Jimmy.
of Boston. He's outside of Boston, and it's not Jimmy Carter, the president. It's just Jimmy Carter.
Thanks for tuning in, Jimmy.
Yeah. So, thank you, Jimmy, and thanks. There's a few people there, but see, I can't see unless I put on my reading. Oh, there we go. Oh, I see you now, Rhonda.
So do you have another song for us?
I do. Actually, that the situation with the group ended really badly in 2017. So the split between the two groups was just sad. And so I try never to really do this song in public unless it's in a private event. But this is private between us. And so because it's you and Jimmy wants to hear the song and a few other people that are watching, I'm going to do. Yes, but first you have to spell it right. Y M. No M. Not this monkey thing. Not this monkey thing. M down here. And C. Your other left. Because people, they never get it right. They never.
Which way? This way?
Right, because people go like this, and when you're watching, my right is your left is my
Okay, so
right.
this way?
We go, no, see, your other left, that way.
Right there.
Once again, allow me to be my sound man again. Jimmy, where are you? You should be here with me.
He said Benny is here too.
No, hi, Linda. Here we go, everybody. So if you're sitting at home, get up and do the song with me. Young man, there's no need to feel down. I say, young man, pick yourself off the ground. I say, young man, cause you're in a new town. There's no need to be unhappy. Young man, there's a place you can go. I said, young man, when you go out your door, you can't stay there. There's a walk in, and I'm sure you know about many ways to have a good time. Come on now, do it with me. It's fun to stay at the YMCA. It's fun to stay at the YMCA. They have everything for you to enjoy. You can hang out with all the boys. YMCA. It's fun to stay at the YMCA. You can get yourself clean. You can have a good meal. You can do whatever you feel. Young man, I was once in your shoes. I said I was down and out with the blues. I felt no man cared if I was alive. I felt the whole world was so dry. That's when someone came up to me and said, young man, take a walk up the street. There's a place there called the YMCA. I'm going to start you back on your way. Here we go, one more time. It's fun to stay at the YMCA. It's fun to stay at the YMCA. They have everything for your men to enjoy. You can hang out with all the boys. YMCA. It's fun to stay at the YMCA. You can get in your man. There's no need to feel down. Young man, pick yourself off the ground. YMCA.
Woo! I'm just sweating here, moving those dance moves.
Rhonda, the funny thing was that my roommate walked in through the middle of this, and she just went straight upstairs. So, I figured I wanted to do something a little different. You're having too much fun, Rhonda. Is Benny there as well?
I know. Oh my
Benny
goodness, that
there?
was so awesome. You know what? I used to dance. I used to dance that when I was in grade 6 in my when we had sock hops.
Oh,
I love.
I'm sure you ask everyone what was your memory of YMCA, you're probably going to get a million of them, you know? It's a
Oh,
great
I'm sure.
song.
Yeah, it was such
Yeah,
a
it's a
great
great
song.
song, and it actually was inducted by the Library of Congress last year at this time, a year ago.
Oh wow! You
Yeah,
know, it's such a great song.
yeah.
Everybody
So, and
knows.
then of course we just got inducted into the Grammy Hall of Fame
Oh, that's so amazing.
in December.
So
In
amazing.
December, yeah.
So awesome.
So,
Congratulations.
what is Felipe's favorite R&B song in the '70s? Is that
Yep.
what he's asking me?
Jimmy Carter said, "What's Felipe's favorite R&B songs from the early '70s?"
Oh my God! Well, Through the Fire, Chaka Khan, Play That Funky Music, White Boy. Um, that's by the group Cherry something. Um, like Freak Chic. Of course, if you were to ask me Donna Summer, because we were all on the same label, if you would ask me what's my favorite Donna Summer song, there are a few, but I'm gonna say On the Radio.
Oh, I love that song too.
It's a
That's such a
beautiful
great
song,
song.
yeah.
It is. Yeah.
So I think
Totally.
I wanted to do something different because it captures the way we all are, where we are, how we're feeling today, and it's a good way to end, our broadcast. So it's something I've been playing with, and I want to do it for you guys. I think you heard me sing it at sound check. My cat napping on my what? He say?
Yeah, that's Aaron. My cat napping on my lap, so didn't appreciate me jamming.
Well, I'm gonna leave you this, and it'll bring us back down to a more mellow situation.
Okay.
Imagine there's no heaven. It's easy if you try. No hell below us, above us, only sky. Imagine all the people living for today. Ooh, imagine there's no countries. It isn't hard to do. Nothing to kill or die for. And no religion too. Imagine all the people living life in peace. You may say I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one. I hope someday you'll join us, and the world will live as one. Imagine no possessions. I wonder if you can. No need for greed or hunger. A brotherhood of man. Imagine all the people sharing all the world. You may say I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one. I hope someday you'll join us, and the world will live as one.
Thank you for that. It was beautiful.
Thank you. And I figured this is a good way to end our broadcast, and also it for me is the way I feel everyone is right now in this a global consciousness state of mind for a year now, which I can't believe it's been a year, right?
I know. Yeah, it's been a year. Been a tough year.
Yeah,
For
but we're
sure.
gonna get through it. If we're also those that are still here, we're still blessed. We'll all still be blessed that we can get through this. Join me in a prayer.
Okay.
Okay. Oh, great Spirit, hear our plea. Always bring us back to Thee. Give us the wisdom to understand those that need a helping hand. Unveil our eyes so we may see someone less fortunate than we. And if perchance we should fall because we didn't hear you call, please, before the day goes by, grant us another chance to try. Oh, Rhonda, thank you.
Thank you so much, Felipe, and for this exclusive interview. And so feel so blessed to have you on my show. And I just want to say, stay safe out there. Social distance, hand sanitize, and wear your mask so we can.
That's right. That's right.
So
You
we
stay
can,
safe as well.
Thank you
And
very
I'm
much.
very proud of your show, 60 shows, and you have managed to give a platform to Indigenous Native artists, to Indigenous artists from all over the United States and around the world. And it's great that now there's another platform that they can go, and it's also on iHeartRadio as well.
Right. That's right.
Well, thank you, Rhonda. I can't wait. Can't wait to hear your next recording. Thank you so much.
Awesome.
Thanks,
So
everybody.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Yes. Thanks, everyone. So I just want to let you know my next guest is Powwow legend Boy Lad on Thursday. So tune in to hear some really amazing stories from the Powwow Trail and his tribe. So and Eguse, thank you again for tuning in. And thank you so much, Felipe. Love you.
Thank you. Oh, thank you.
Tune in again next time when Rhonda interviews another up-and-coming Indigenous superstar. Only on Indigenous Superstar.